Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about the art of energetic sharpening, which is basically the process of learning how to hype yourself up. And I want to talk about how you do this and when you should do this, because I believe it's a very potent tool to have in your toolbox. So first thing we're going to talk about is what this is and then how to do it. So what I'm talking about here is how to gain voluntary control over your adrenal system. You can learn how to just release a jolt of adrenaline into your system just through an act of will, all right? And a little bit of a breathing exercise, okay? So this is the kind of stuff that people will naturally learn how to do through lifting weights. You know, you see this with in an extreme form before someone does like a max effort deadlift or some kind of like real intense weightlifting set. What they do pretty much, if you look at it, they'll usually do some kind of fast exhale and then this physical tensing. And that's pretty much all you need to do. Like the way our nervous system works is if you do a slow exhale, that brings your body down into relaxation. Just take a nice slow exhale so you can feel that. You feel calmer. But if you do the opposite, you do a fast exhale, hypes you up, creates a little spike of energy. And you can learn how to do this. And so if you do a quick exhale and then you tense your muscles, you will learn how to create an adrenaline release, okay? And it's like a little shot of coffee right into your brain and body. Now, I used to use this technique for helping guys overcome porn cravings, and I don't do that anymore, actually. And it's not because it's necessarily like a bad idea under all circumstances. It's just that there are better ways to do it. And there are oftentimes like things like if you just keep trying to hype yourself up to get through like porn cravings or any kind of craving, like, you know, whether you're trying to lose weight or quit video games or whatever, if you're always relying on just like flexing through, ultimately that ends up becoming repressive, because a lot of times what you need to do is actually process some internal emotion. So like self-talk is a better option a lot of times. Using journaling to pre-program your mind so you don't even need to do this kind of thing is better. Learning how to make better trades. So it's like, okay, instead of using porn, I'll give myself this other form of relief, okay? And these are much more sustainable and useful things to develop long-term. So I don't use this energetic spiking technique as a, first line of defense against cravings anymore. And so it got me thinking like, I don't really know, like, what is this useful for outside of the gym? And I've come to realize what it is useful for. It's actually very powerful for changing psychological states. So let's talk about a state that we've all been in, which is lethargy. We've just been in a place where it's like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to start my work. It's like that kind of energy. Give yourself a little spike. Get yourself going, and you can go into it. Once you get a feel for it, you'll be able to it's like you just do that first, then all of a sudden, boom, you can do it. You can do it to get yourself out of bed in the morning if you're tired, all right? And so it's really powerful for that, just starting a task that you're putting off. Sometimes it's like you don't even necessarily need to have the intention of starting the task. Just do a little energy spike. Think about doing the thing, and guess what? I bet you it's going to sound 10 times more appealing because now you have energy in your system. Because like a lot of times when we're evaluating whether or not we want to do a task or not, we're evaluating it based upon how we currently feel. So if you change the way you feel and then reevaluate, all of a sudden your brain's like, oh yeah, sure, totally, we can do that. We feel ready to do that. So, and if you go right into it, then you'll get into the flow state and then you're good. It's also really good for if you are in a state of like prolonged slipping. We all kind of have these times where we just fall off track. I just recently had one of these with the diet and stuff that I've been working on. I had like a wedding and I had some other stuff going on, and I just fell off the wagon with it. And I was like kind of just like, wallowing off it, not really going back on. And it's like, there can be this feeling of like, well, I don't know, I should go back on, but I feel like I'm off it. I feel disconnected from it. And what you need to have is some sort of emotional experience that tells your primal mind that you are back on track. And so a lot of times people outsource this. It's like they're like, oh, I need to like get a motivational like YouTube video, or I need to get like a pep talk, or I need to like have, spend this money and get some accountability again. And like, yeah, those things can all help you, but the reason why they help you is because they create an emotional shift. Or you can just spike your energy. And you can just say, all right, I'm spiking my energy because this represents me getting back on track. And so you can use this as like, oh, I've been, trying to quit porn, but then I fell off for a week. And it's like, well, how do you get back on track? Spike your energy and do a journal entry, like restating your commitment, revisit your anchor vision. And it's like, you can decide to just do it like that, but like, you can't just do it logically. There has to be some emotional reaction. And by doing this, you're engaging your emotional system. And it's a powerful thing. You can also do this for, if you're like losing your day, it's like you get off track in your day, you just start scrolling, you watch TV or something, and it's like, shit, day's half gone. I got a little bit of time left. I want to like turn it around. Boom, spike your energy up, get after it. All right. That's like the way our brain works. It just needs to have these sorts of things. And I don't know this. This is something that I would have to like look into, ask someone who really knows, is whether or not your adrenal system can be conditioned for more of this. I don't know if it works like a muscle where the more you train yourself to like do this, the more times a day you can spike your energy. I assume that's the case probably, but I'm not entirely certain. Because the body tends to adapt to stress and stuff like that. So maybe like you want to think of it though as like not something that you can do all the time. All right. You can't just constantly be trying to coast this adrenaline feeling. I had a story like from when I was a basketball player in high school, and I like found this ability to hype myself up, and I thought, oh wow, this is like kind of like this unlimited power. And I remember like I was just like visualizing like the basketball game I had later that day. I was just thinking about it all day. I was getting myself hyped. I was so pumped. And then come game time, I was flat as shit. I just didn't have any of my pop, any of my power, any of my like, normal like spark of play, because I was burnt out. I'd used up all my juice. And this is actually one of the reasons why I stopped powerlifting, because I felt like that sapped so much of this adrenal power. So now I train a different way. I train primarily with kettlebells, and it's still hard training, but like it's much longer sets. So I'm not like, I don't need to spike the energy as high. And if I am going to do barbell lifting, which I still do, I usually don't do like too many max out sets. I will sometimes, but I keep them pretty sparing, because I try and save it for my work. I'm not a professional athlete, so I save this adrenaline for getting myself to show up, take action, take care of my family. It's like I got a lot of stuff going on the personal side of my life where it's like, this is kind of like your mana bar in some like, some form. Like, you're like in video games, you got your little magic meter. Well, that's kind of like what your adrenaline is. It's something that you can use as quite a potent force if you use it at the right times and the right places. So I know a number of you guys who have gone through my older courses, you say, I missed the sharpening technique. Where does that fit now? How do we use that? Well, this is how you use it. And I would love to hear about some of you guys giving this a shot. So if you are in a lethargic state right now, try and do this. See if you can pump yourself up. See if you can shift your mindset, and then take action. And if you do, report back. Let me know. All right. For some of you guys, you might need to, practice doing it externally first, like using external aids like pump up music, or, watching some like inspirational video on YouTube. There's lots of, pump up stuff like that. But the real power is when you can gain voluntary control over it and just strong exhale, flex your muscles, go. You'll be surprised at how big of a jolt you can learn how to get out of this. So give it a shot. Let me know how it works. And if you want more practical tools for how to do this kind of stuff, you want to learn how to what you can use this spike for, what kind of activities you want to funnel it into to maximize your ability to master yourself, then check out my Manhood Mastery training in the description. Check out the Self Mastery Club, which I run. Join that. All the other guys who are learning how to master themselves utilize these special techniques to get the most out of themselves and their lives. Just click the link in the description, and I hope to see you in the Self Mastery Club. Ooh yeah, see you on the next one.